Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching the finale of the second season of Young Sheldon. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it's available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So the last few episodes have been pretty up and down with Connie and Dr. Sturgis, isn't it? You know what I mean? 2 episodes ago he proposed to her, she rejected him. Not like outright like no, you know what I mean? But like she was saying, you know, my reasons for this, and she portrayed it pretty well, but she did put an advert out in the paper to show everybody that they are an item, they are a couple, and those two are together. However, again, you know, that kind of upset him a little bit, and then he went to a casino last episode, and it's the first time he's seen her in this environment, and again, she was bossy, and she was angry, and she was upset, and made him feel bad again, you know, because she was losing her money, and she lashed out on him, and he went and sat down, and he was at the bar, and he was nearly crying and all that, but she come over, she won, slapped some money down, he was excited again, and he'd gone out for lobster or whatever's. However, do you know what I mean? It's different sides, and 2 episodes in a row where she's kind of upset him, so I don't really know what's going on there. However, you know, another person that was upset was Pastor Jeff, who, you know, has had a rocky time with his, you know, with his wife. Everybody says that she so much better looking than him. Obviously, he was loving it. That's the reason why, obviously, he's with her. He's like, wow, I'm with someone way out of my league. However, it's not gone well. She's broke up. She's left him. And when it looked like he was down in the dumps and considering his religion and everything, what he believes in, you know, God give him a sign, and a new police officer who pulled him over in the town actually let him off without a ticket, has come to church and seemed like they got a connection. You know, God's sending him in the right direction. So it's interesting. Been a good last few episodes. Really enjoying it. Thanks for checking out today's. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Hello?
Hello, Mom.
Hi.
I bet you're wondering.
I sure am. Picks up broadcasts from around the world. I thought this was okay to go on in my house.
It was that or my house, so here we are.
Needs to go up on the roof.
You're not going on the roof.
Of course he's not. I am.
You're not going either.
Excuse me, I have 6 years of Tai Chi under my belt. I have the balance of a jungle cat.
So you can hear who won a science prize?
The Nobel Prize.
Why can't you just read who won in the newspaper?
I could say the same thing about the Super Bowl, but you still watch it.
I'll think about it.
When I win one, I might just thank you in my speech.
Georgie, get out here. Got a chore for you.
There it is.
Excellent. Which scientists are you rooting for?
Oh, I don't have a favorite.
You know, if we had cable, we'd have like 60 channels.
We have plenty of channels.
We have 7. Come on, it don't cost much.
I'm not paying for television. If you want cable, pay for it yourself. Or better yet, try turning that thing off and go read a book.
You know what? I'm talking about paying for television, right? I'm speaking personally from me. Doesn't matter, you know, I'm not speaking for the rest of the UK. However, here we pay for a TV license just so the BBC run 0 adverts. So when you're listening to the radio or you're watching a BBC channel, you don't get an advert. I couldn't give a shit about adverts. That is the only station in the whole entire UK that has no adverts, and I've got to pay for that as well. I don't understand it. And it is like £120 a year. It's like $10 a month, £10 a month for a TV station that I basically never watch and I couldn't care about. However, I get charged for that. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how many people actually care and would want to pay that TV license. You know, I reckon if you polled the whole entire UK, it will be 85 plus or whatever percent is in scrap the TV license. It's a load of bollocks, honestly. We pay for TV just so one channel out of thousands has no adverts. I don't understand it. And like he just said there as well, is television's free and it'll always be free. Well, you know, it's an interesting observation back then. But right now, you know, I currently pay what? $15.99 for Netflix. What's Amazon? $10.99. Do you know what I mean? Apple TV again. Currently I've got like a 7-month, 8-month free trial because I bought an iPad, so I'm laughing with that one. But again, that's another thing. Like, you could literally be paying Now TV or whatever if you want to watch the football. Like, you could be paying upwards of 100 plus a month just to be able to watch standard things on demand or movies or even live TV. Like you're saying with stupid BBC. It's mad.
Garden grow, mulch it deep
John?
and... Hello, my sweet.
What are you doing out here?
Weeding. Goosegrass doesn't sleep. It kills the good grass and leaves bald spots.
Can I get you a flashlight?
I would prefer a headlamp, such as one would use for spelunking.
This is class president Sheldon Cooper with an important science bulletin. This Wednesday morning, the Nobel Prize in Physics will be announced, and I'd like to invite each and every one of you to my garage to listen live.
Morning for a Swedish science thing?
This is Dr. Linklater. I work in the physics department with Dr. Sturgis. I'm just calling to let you know that John is fine, but there's been a bit of an incident at school today.
What happened?
He broke into the mainframe computer lab, tripped off an alarm, security came.
Well, where is he now?
He's in the dean's office. If you'd like to go grab a coffee sometime, I know a cute little cafe. You like scones? I should go.
Persistent.
Connie, what are you doing here? What did he say?
That
I was using the university's mainframe and they asked me to leave. Simple as that.
Since when do we get MTV?
Since I got cable.
You got cable.
I called up the cable company. I said, hello, I'd like cable. And they put in cable.
I'm not paying for that.
Keep your shirt on. I paid for it.
What's so important that I had to run over here?
Come here, I want to show you something. Read the top right part.
Plus heat plus bread equals toast.
You may have noticed that I went with Cheerios, and believe me, it was a decision that I came to after careful consideration. There were birds on the Fruit Loops, Cocoa Puffs, and cornflakes, so they were out. The festivities begin at 4:30 a.m. You're most welcome to come.
Oh, it's a pen.
The hell is this? He's asked me for some kind of code.
Yeah, that's the parental control lock.
So how do I take it off?
You don't. This is my cable that I bought with my money.
You gotta be kidding me.
Here's an idea. How about you go read a book?
Thing is, right, I kind of get... See, I kind of get what he's just coming from, because I literally just said then I would say to him, mate, I paid for it, you're not watching it, the way kind of George was saying to him. Do you know what I mean? He was saying, look, I'm not paying for it, so it's like, well, if I do, then you're not having it. However, the counter to that is, he's your dad, and he pays for everything else. You know what I mean? Like, I would literally sit down at the table serving everybody food and not give him any, and be like, you didn't pay for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm taking the kids to school, but you're not coming. You didn't pay for the gas. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could do it. Oh, what? Where's all my clothes gone? Oh, sorry, you didn't pay for them. I did. You know what I mean? Like, as a dad, you can literally dominate the kids in that department, you know. Literally, everything that you've got is mine. I paid for everything. And if I didn't, you know, you just have whatever it is you got. However, I understand where Georgia is coming from, to be honest, you know, because as a kid, you would do that. You actually would. For example, I pay, like I was just saying there, about all those stupid streaming services that we have to pay for just to watch TV nowadays. I don't make my parents pay for none of them. I pay for all of them, and then they can have it. So, like, Spotify, they can all just be on my account. I'm not going to make them pay for it. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, all of life, they give me everything. Why would I make my mum listen to music? You know what I mean? Like, I'll pay for that. You know, we had Netflix when I moved out, and Netflix put that stupid thing on where you have to pay extra for 2 households. Of course, I'm going to pay for that extra bit, because I'm not going to make her pay for it. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know, like, all those streaming services, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and all that, I don't want the parents to pay for it, because they pay for everything for me from when I was little. Do you know what I mean? So what's an extra 10, 15, 20 to me for all of it that they've done to me? But for Georgia, I get where he's coming from this time anyway, and I probably would have done the same at his age.
You know what I like about you, Sheldon? You're incredibly smart, but you're also really dumb. People are going to come here to hang out with you. Yes. Well, I happen to have a little more faith in the curiosity of my fellows. See, you sound smart, but you're still dumb.
Hello?
Hello, Dr. Linklater. This is Connie Tucker.
Connie, how lovely to hear from you.
Stop.
You also missed 2 of his classes today.
Do you have any idea where he might be? Okay, look, if you hear from him or see him, please let me know.
Now, if down the road things don't work out with you 2, I'd love to...
Bye.
At least you know she's got an option open.
Here, this for you.
What is it?
Read it. You do remember how to read, don't you? Come and board, buddy.
$50 a month for food?
The way you eat, I should have gone $50 a week.
What's the $10 a month PIMA charge?
Oh, PIMA. That's a pain in my ass tax.
John?
There's boobies on my TV. Get out of here!
Reminds me of Yoda.
What are you doing?
I was doing Tai Chi. Maybe Chi is the ancient Chinese word for the subatomic universe. Oh, somebody will win the Nobel Prize about these particles, but I'm experiencing them firsthand.
Why don't you come down and experience them on the floor? Why don't we go downstairs and I'll fix us both a nice cup of hot tea.
It was my dream to win the Nobel. I bet Sheldon will.
That'll be something.
Mate, it's different between, say, having a dream about being something and then being successful and not being rewarded. It's completely, totally different. So, for example, you know, I had a dream that I wanted to be a footballer. You know what I mean? But I wasn't good enough? No. So, like, I'm not do you know what I mean? I'm not, like, disappointed. I mean, I'm disappointed that I didn't, but, you know, it doesn't impact me. However, if I was good enough, like, I literally, factually was better than everybody, but no one ever selected me, then that would actually, you know, really be hurting. And it's like the time Sheldon and Amy, when they was running for their Nobel Prize and those people was trying to come in and rob it from them, that's where it would be upsetting, you know, because you've actually achieved something momentous, prestigious, and you should be rewarded for it. And someone's trying to steal it away from you and get no recognition. That's where it's upsetting. Now, obviously, if John's was just a dream to have it, but then he never actually done something momentous, then I wouldn't be in the position where I'd be devastated that I never got it. However, if somebody stole it from me or I did do something momentous and never got recognised, then that's the upsetting part. I do hope people actually turn up, you know.
How's it going, baby?
I don't think anyone's showing up.
Ellie, I'm afraid Dr. Sturgis isn't coming this morning. He isn't feeling well.
The announcements are starting.
You want me to stay? I'll be in my room if you need me.
And this year's Nobel Prize in Physics is awarded to Henry Kendall, Jerome Friedman, and Richard Taylor for the discovery of quarks.
A primary feature of quarks is that they're always bonded together. I felt like a neutrino, destined to be alone forever.
Leonard, dear.
Oh, this is actually cool, you know.
Thankfully, I was wrong.
Yo, I actually well like that, you know. Do you know what would be amazing? Honestly, like, it actually would be amazing. And they're all from different states, so it wouldn't happen. But if we see an episode where they bump into each other or cross paths or they speak to each other, do you know what I mean? Is it Paige? Do you remember the young girl? Like, that was, she was good, actually. I think, I liked her upbeat attitude. I actually really did. However, I don't know how many of these reminiscences we're going to get. You know, Penny is just asleep in a bed. She doesn't grow up to be a scientist, does she? Like the rest do. However, like, even though their characters, their younger versions that we don't even know, feels like we know them. Because we know the future selves. And I don't know, there's something about that last scene that felt really good. I actually really liked it. And, you know, sometimes you got to go through tough times to learn powerful bits of information. And just there, he's gone through one where, like, don't rely on other people. You know, even if it's like he didn't need anybody to come to do an outcome, but what I'm saying is don't rely on other people to come for you to have a good time. You know what I mean? Like, if you was just going to sit down and listen to that yourself and enjoy it, do it. If other people come, it's a bonus. You know what I mean? Don't go out your way to think that people are going to come and make things better. Because if you become hopeful, then there's a chance that obviously it doesn't go your way. Do you know what I mean? Like, and, you know, it's a tough lesson, and it would have been nice if somebody did turn up, but it was 5 o'clock, and you've got to look at his age and who is going to let their kids out their house at that time. You know what I mean? Like, not many people, and I kind of understand why nobody turned up. However, it was interesting to see, and he, you know, again, looking at that, he was supporting somebody else, and they lost, so not only did people not turn up, and he's obviously upset by that, but the team or the people that he was behind didn't win as well. So life is not always as you wish, and it is an interesting lesson. However, I felt like it ended really good, and I actually really did enjoy that little montage of everybody growing up to basically say, look, mate, you know, maybe in this situation now, you may be wondering why no one here, why does nobody like what I like, why am I on my own? But you're never on your own. There's always people around there. Your mum's there supporting you. Okay, she's not your age group, but you've got one. You know what I mean? And there's more people than you know. That's why if you're struggling in life or anything like that, talk, speak up, say something. Because, you know, there might be a person around the corner that's never met you before that hears your situation and joins in. And I feel that way too. And you never actually know. Do you know what I mean? And it was good to see that although he's isolated and singled out on his own right now, there's many people around the world in that situation, and at one point you will be coming together and you will obviously have friends. And it was nice to see then. It was just, I don't know, I feel like a nice, even though it was a sad but really nice way to kind of end the season. Okay, that is going to wrap up the second season of Young Sheldon. How are you enjoying it so far? Do you reckon it's been 2 good seasons? What's your opinion? I'm actually really enjoying it. I think it's good. I feel like this season we've kind of ventured away from it being all about Sheldon. If I'm being totally honest, again, this is another episode. I feel like it's 3 or 4 continuously in a row where we've actually, you know, brought all the characters into the mix and we had a decent storyline, and it's not just been Sheldon. Do you know what I mean? If you think about it, we had the Veronica on the Passage F one, we had the, you know, the engagement, we've had a big part of the episode today, to be honest, with Dr. Sturgis and Connie as well. Do you know what? I kind of like low-key feel like they've been like the main characters all season, to be honest, isn't it? A lot, you know, I never really expected it. And, you know, it looked like he was having, you know, a mental, you know, episode in today, do you know what I mean, where he was struggling. However, it was good that Connie was there for him, do you know what I mean? And she went and found him, she brought him down, she talked him out of whatever it was that he was doing and tried to reassure him that he was okay. You know, that's what you need as a partner, someone supportive, not someone to just leave you to it. Do you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Sheldon obviously went through a tough time there where he invited everybody around and it didn't actually, you know, be a success. And, you know, Missy was right. You know, for somebody so clever, he's actually so dumb sometimes, where he actually believes in himself that this situation where everybody was going to turn up, and everybody kind of knew that it wasn't going to happen. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, you got to go through those life lessons and decisions. You could have been surprised. You could have been loads of people turning up. Do you know what I mean? But it did go the way that we expected it to go. However, you know, it is kind of upsetting for it. And I'm excited to obviously see what we do in the next season. I feel like I said, you know, Georgia, Missy, and, you know, Connie have had a lot of screen time this season, much more than season 1, which is really good. And, you know, their storylines are kind of progressing and everybody else's as well. Sheldon's is still continuous, which is nice, but obviously everybody else is getting more screen time. So I feel like it's a bigger progression for the show, and I'm excited to see obviously what we do in the 3rd season. Thanks for checking this one out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.